Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. I'm Allison Rogers, Instructional Technology Specialist here at RESA, and today's Tech Tip Tuesday is going to focus on how to efficiently organize your Google Forms and sheets you reuse year to year. I'm going to show you two different examples of how to organize your forms and sheets. The first one is using a form that is specific to the school year and making a copy of that form and reusing it year to year. And the second way is actually creating a form that you use every year and you just create a different spreadsheet of responses. So this first example, let's say we have a survey that we use every year, but this year is specifically 17-18, and all of the content I want to stay the same, but I want to change the year. And I also want to be able to go back to this responses tab and be able to view my data that way as well. So right now I've got my survey and I've got my spreadsheet of results, and what I'm going to do is go to the form and I'm going to click the three dots or the snowman, and I'm going to say make a copy, and then here I'm going to go ahead and rename it to 1819. Click OK. And so now it's creating a form called 1819. Now it changes the title, but I still need to go in and actually change the name of the survey to 1819. And so now this is creating an entirely different entity, a different form. So there's no responses in this form yet. In fact, I have to actually create the spreadsheet, go in, create a new spreadsheet, and it's going to be called 1819 Sample Survey Responses. I'm going to create that, and then it's going to open it up in this tab. So now I have a form from last year that has responses, and then the spreadsheet that's corresponding to that, and then I have my new form for the upcoming school year that is empty but has the same questions that I want to use, and it has an empty spreadsheet. Okay, so that was your first option. Your second option, let's say you have a form where it's not necessarily labeled year to year. It's a form that you use the exact content every year, but you want the data or the responses to live in a different spreadsheet every year. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this survey that I already have data in from this year, and again I want to keep this form the same, so I'm not going to make a copy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the responses tab, I'm going to click the snowman, and now I'm going to say unlink form, and it's going to warn me, it's going to say, are you sure you want to do this? So what it's basically saying is new responses to this form are no longer going to live in the spreadsheet that you've created. Okay, they're not going to be deleted, but they're not going to go to that same spreadsheet. So then I'm going to say go ahead and unlink that. And you'll notice that when I go to my spreadsheet, it's giving me the option to create one, because right now there is not one created to this form since I unlinked this spreadsheet. But now I want to do one more thing before I create a new spreadsheet, and that is I want to delete these responses. Okay, so again, these responses are going to still live in this spreadsheet, but I want them out of this form. So I'm going to hit the snowman, and I'm going to say delete all responses. I'm going to say, are you sure you want to do this? It can't be undone. I'm going to say OK. And so now I have, that form that I've been using, but it's now blank in terms of responses, and I can go to the green icon and click that and create a new spreadsheet, and then click create. And so now I've got a spreadsheet that doesn't have any prior responses in it. So I could go back into my original survey response, and I could say, this is going to be my 17-18 of responses, and I could go in and label this one as my 18-19. So now year to year I'm using this same survey, but now I have two locations. This one's for the upcoming school year for responses, and this is my data from the prior school year. So that's the second way to organize your forms. So basically those are two options in terms of not having to recreate your forms every year or recreate your spreadsheets. It's kind of an efficient way to either make a copy and have multiple versions of both the form and the spreadsheet, or have one form and a spreadsheet for every year that you collect data. So that's it for today's Tech Tip Tuesday. If you have an idea, question, or suggestion for a Tech Tip Tuesday topic, email me and your idea may be featured in a future training or Tech Tip Tuesday blast.